ESO Dojo.
Hello gamers and welcome to the dojo. This is Nordjitsu. I'm going to be the host of this series, ESO Dojo, where we'll be talking about Elder Scrolls Online builds, combat tactics, siege tactics, anything basically doing with PvP in general. In this video in particular, I'm going to be talking about the ability Bolt Escape. There's a lot of confusion about how the ability works, what abilities counter it, what the ability is used for, and that kind of thing. So we're just going to go through some general counterplay, some options that other classes have for a similar ability as Bolt Escape. And in the first video, it's just me demonstrating with my PvP officer Haztaroth. And you'll see him using some CC on me, as well as blocking some of the bolts, which the block does prevent a stun from happening. That there's the chain pull ability, Fiery Reach. And then we'll move on here in a little bit to some hard counters, some chase mechanics. So as I bolt, he uses his shield charge, which stops me mid-bolt, applies the stun even while I'm in mid-bolt. He then uses Dark Talons. I dodge roll out of it and bolt again. He applies it again, and I dodge roll, and he's able to shield bash me again by that point because the CC worn off. He's applied a third Dark Talons, and by that point I'm not getting away. If he had wanted to there, he could have shield bashed me, which would have prevented the Bolt Escape from happening and bashed me to death. Okay, and in this clip here, you can see the way that block interacts with Bolt Escape. It actually acts as a hard counter to the stun portion of the skill, and also reduces the damage of the Streak Morph, which is a moderate amount of damage to begin with. There's some confusion about on the forums about the way this worked. There's a few people claiming that blocking would not prevent the stun. You can see in the video clip that it clearly does. So it will prevent the skill from effectively stunning you in combat, which is one of the ways that people use the Streak Morph to set up other combos like the Crystal Shard knockdown, which can be used to set up a high damage rotation. Okay, and in this clip we're going to look at one of the first ways that you can catch a Bolt Escaping Sorc. In this video you'll see me using the dodge roll with the bow, which activates the hasty retreat passive and increases the speed. And you'll see that I'm actually able to chase him down and catch up with him. At the time that he stops, he's actually out of magicka, and I would have been able to damage him and prevent him from getting into the keep here. So this is simulating a situation that happens a lot. You're sieging a keep, somebody bolts away and tries to get inside. Okay, and now we're going to look at one of the alternatives to Bolt Escape that the other classes have available to them. This skill is called Path of Darkness, which has two different morphs to it. One of them adds a damage component, the other one heals you while you're on the path. Both of them increase your speed rather dramatically. In the first clip you notice that he's able to catch me using Bolt Escape. That's simply because Bolt Escape's faster over the very short distance, but over a moderate to longer distance, Path of Darkness actually will carry you much faster, much further for lower magical cost, and that's because you still spam the skill, but you don't have to use it as often because it lays down a 5-meter path that you're able to run along before you have to recast. So even though the magicka cost is technically the same, I'm still able to catch him using the ability. Okay, and in this next clip we're going to look at another alternative disengage mechanism that's also available with the Nightblade. In general, the two classes that have the best disengage mechanisms are the Nightblade and the Sorcerer, and that's to make up for their relatively poor healing compared to the Dragon Knight and the Templar. Since you cannot stay in a fight and heal yourself for as long, they give you more options to get out of a fight, part of the rock, paper, scissors type balance system that they have going on. Dark Cloak will turn you invisible, as well as removing negative effects that are levied against you. The nice thing about the invisibility component is that it actually makes it harder for enemies to track you. So if an enemy group hasn't seen you yet, or if they just barely saw you when you decide to start escaping, it's going to be relatively much harder for them to find you compared to Bolt Escape, which leaves a trail. In the clip you'll notice that Haz actually is able to find me by damaging me in this clip. That's simply because I went too close to the camera woman here, and he went close to her and ended up hitting me. Okay, and in this next clip, we're going to look at some Templar counterplay. In this example, we've already shown some of the CC counters to prevent them from escaping. Now we're going to look at CC counters to the ability being used in combat. Most of the time when people pick the streak morph, it's because they want to use it to actually fight you, not necessarily to get away. Ball of Lightning is a little bit superior as an escape mechanism, simply because it absorbs projectiles behind you. In the video, you'll see me using primarily Invasion, which is a one-handed and shield skill that will stun him, and you'll also see me using Piercing Javelin, which throws a light spear at him that knocks him back and adds a stun. The nice thing about Piercing Javelin, along with any other sort of projectile knockback or knockdown, is that it will apply to him while he's mid-bolt. So even while he's in the middle of a teleport, it will knock him down, it will trace onto him, and end the ability before he's traveled the full distance. You'll see that I'm also making liberal use of block, simply to prevent him from applying the stun or doing very much damage to me. In this video, he does stun me, I CC break it, and then I continue to damage him simply using light and heavy attacks. As the damage starts to pile up, he decides to try escaping. I hit him with a Piercing Javelin, which knocks him down, followed up with an Invasion, and I'm starting to do damage again. He attempts to escape one more time here. You'll see that I throw a Piercing Javelin, which tracks onto him. And he's going to have CC immunity. He's going to momentarily try to disengage, and I'm going to prevent that with another Piercing Javelin. At this point, you can see his health's very low, and he attempts to escape. I whip around, hit him with a Piercing Javelin. It takes him mid-bolt out of the air and kills him. That's because Bolt Escape also does not have any damage reduction to it. So unlike Elusive Miss, which is another disengage mechanism, you will take full damage to all abilities against you during that time. Okay, and in this final clip, we're going to look at the most powerful counter to Bolt Escape. It's a hard counter, it works every time, it's available to all classes. Simply what you do is you stand in place and wave goodbye as the sorcerer leaves the battlefield. The sorcerer who's left the battlefield can no longer do damage to your group, no longer siege your keep. Escape mechanism, that's exactly how it works, and the best thing you can do in many situations, if you do not have the skills shown earlier in the video that counter it, is to simply let them go. Chasing a bolt escaping sorcerer does not benefit your group in the vast majority of situations.
Hey everybody, Amaya here. I hope you all enjoyed the very first episode of ESO Dojo. There will be more on the way soon. If you want, you can go ahead and click the hyperlinks below, check out some PvP footage, our rendition of the Lusty Argonian Maid, and some crafting tutorials. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out my other videos. There's some links right here for you guys, and I will see you on the battlefield.